Red Sox fans have wanted to hear it. The Boston Red Sox are world champions. This is going to be a tough play. The Cubs, the Phillies, Brady makes the play. It's over. And the Cubs have finally won it all. It's 7-10.
Woo! Welcome to the best damn sports podcast on the planet. This is Triple Shot Sports. I'm your host, Brandon Combs. Guys, as always, we've got a full show lined up for you guys. A lot of exciting stuff to talk about. We will get to Twist's, Benzies anyway, top 10. Twist decided not to join us. I think that they are just upset that the Colts suck, and they are tired of us rapping on them about it. So they decided not to show up tonight. I think that they're scared of Triple Shot Sports. They don't want any smoke from me, Jay, or Hoffy. So they decided not to show up this week. But I still got Benzi's top 10. We are going to pick that apart because it is trash again. I don't know what this guy does when he watches football, but apparently it's not watch football. So we will get to that in just a moment. But first, without further ado, let's get to my co-host. Let's get to Jay. Jay, what's going on, buddy?
You already have me dying, bro. He just said, he says, that list is trash. What's up, Diddy Combs? How you doing?
Hey, man, I am living the dream. I am excited because the Houston Astros are down 3-1. However, they are up 3-2 right now in the 8th inning of Game 5.
And like I told you, it's a small setback for a big comeback.
So what you're saying is that these Astros are as good as the 0-4 Red Sox?
No, I would never say that.
Oh, no. Hey. The only other team to ever do it.
The possibility is there. It could happen.
All right, let's get to somebody who actually thinks with logic here. Well, Hoffy, what's going on, buddy?
The number one co-host in the nation.
You know, my father-in-law says that when you do this, every time you do this, he says he thinks of Richard Nixon. I don't know what's going on, but that's what he said. He told me to tell you that next time I saw you, so I'm telling you right now. All right, guys. So we've got some stuff going on. We've got Week 6 coming up. No Thursday night football games. That is the one good thing COVID has brought us is we did not have to watch something stupid like the Giants and Jets or the Bengals and Tampa Bay has just tied the game on a solo home run in the top of the 8th, baby. Woo! Tie game.
Man.
At any rate. So, we've got a lot of games going on. Another person that is too scared to join us lately, just kidding. He's been at work. He's working right now, is Professor Leonard. But I did go ahead and I did get our picks out. Strikeout Beer says, let's go. What's going on, Strikeout Beer?
Strikeout.
Beers in the chat. There are beers in the chat. I love beer. Are you guys beer guys?
Look at your belly.
Oh, hell. What kind of beer you like, asshole?
Did you have to sign up for a gym today?
All right.
Got him.
I still love you, Coombs.
Got him.
It's Combs, dick.
That's Coombs. Diddy Coombs.
Diddy.
It's Coombs for days.
Diddy Coombs.
Oh, man. All right. At any rate, since you guys don't want to talk about beer, we have Professor Leonard and I going head-to-head on 3 games. This week, our 3 games are Atlanta versus Minnesota, Washington versus the New York Giants, and Chiefs versus the Bills. But before I give you our picks, I want to go with you guys and see what you guys would have said and what you would have picked if you guys were in this game. So let's start with Atlanta versus Minnesota. We've got Atlanta versus Minnesota. Atlanta's been reeling. They just fired their coach. I mean, they have looked atrocious defensively. Their offenses look good. Week in and week out, their offenses looked really good, but their defense has just been god-awful, especially in the second half and in the fourth quarter. But Minnesota is a 4.5-point favorite in this one. Who you guys got?
I got Soda.
Yeah.
Minnesota, you're giving up the points?
Yep.
Yeah. 4. I'm giving them out too. I definitely got to go Minnesota here. Atlanta can't hold the lead to save their lives. I mean, they could be up, 50-0 in the first half, and then the third quarter comes around, and
yeah,
they're blowing that lead.
I think the key for me was 4.5 points. And, you know, Minnesota hasn't been world beaters this year. That's for sure. They're still trying to find their groove. They're still trying to find out who they are, their identity. Their secondary's been trash all year long. But I did go with Minnesota, and I took the points, or I gave up the points. I gave up the 4.5 points. And Professor is going with Atlanta, and he's taking the points. I really like.
Where do you get his degree in, being a professor?
Oh man, you guys are killing me. All right, so we got a lot of stuff going on right now. The other game is Washington and the New York Giants. The Washington Redskins are favored, or the Giants are favored by 2.5 points. Who you guys got in that one?
I'm taking the points again. I got the Giants winning this one.
So you're giving up the points?
Giving up the points. But yeah, I got the Giants winning. I think the Giants have a game here. I don't really trust the Redskins offense. I know they got a solid defensive front, but I think the Giants get it done.
All right, Jay?
As much as I hate to do it, I mean, I'm going to have to go with the Giants too. I mean, I just think their quarterback play is just better at this point. I mean, besides that, it's pretty much a toss-up, but I think I'll have to go with the Giants.
All right. And then we have the Chiefs and the Bills. We have the Chiefs are 4-point favorites against the Buffalo Bills. Bills coming off that loss to Tennessee, that beat down to Tennessee, really. And the Chiefs are favored by 4 points. They just got Le'Veon Bell. Probably won't play this weekend, but not like they need him anyway. I think it was a horrible move for the Chiefs. Who you guys got in that one?
Jake?
I think I'm going to go with the Bills. I think they got something to prove after that loss. Chiefs probably still win it, but I mean, I think that this is one that the Bills could probably steal from them,
Yeah. Hoffy?
I could see the Bills doing it, but I said earlier in the week, their game against the Titans was a big test to see if they were legit, and they didn't show up. So I think the Chiefs give them another beatdown.
I actually took Buffalo and the points. I'm going to take the +4. I'm not sure if they'll win the game outright, but I think this is going to be a field goal type of game. I think they're going to need a last-minute field goal to win. The Chiefs are, and whether they get it or not will decide the game. But I think it'll be decided by less than 4 points. So I went ahead and I took the Chiefs. And Professor Leonard goes ahead and tells me right now that I just said one of the wrong games here. Which game did I have wrong, Professor? I'm looking at it right now. That's the game I had wrong. All right. My bad. I forgot we switched one of them. So we did not have Atlanta, Minnesota. We had Tennessee and Houston.
Ooh.
Tennessee and Houston. Tennessee is favored by 3.5 points. Jay, who you got? Tennessee or Houston? Tennessee favored by 3.5.
I'm taking Tennessee.
You giving up the points?
Yeah, definitely. They're just. I mean, at this point, you just saw what they did. You just saw what they did to the Bills. They just pretty much manhandled them, made the Bills look like little kids. I mean, Houston hasn't really produced much this year, and they don't really look all that great. I mean, last week they had, their first game where they actually did something. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to go with Tennessee here.
Hoffy?
Yeah, I'm not a believer in Tannehill, but he's starting to make me think that was a lot to do with Adam Gase. I think Derrick Henry and Tannehill are, on a mission, and I think they get this one done.
Yeah, so because of what they just did and how they did it, I think that they're going to be riding on a high. I think Houston is trying to climb back into things after firing Bill O'Brien and trying to find their way. They got on the win in the win column last week, and I think that I think they probably lose this one, but I do think that they battle it out. I think this is a really high-scoring game. It's in Houston, so I really feel like 3.5 points was just too much for me to give up. So I took the points. I think Houston can actually win this one outright. I think this is one of them games where Tennessee could definitely have one of their letdown games that they're going to have along the way. I mean, they're not going to go 16-0. They're good, but they're not that good. And I think that these could be one of those letdown games. You're coming off riding a huge victory on Tuesday is when you win this game, and now you got to play again on Sunday, and that's not normal. It's a different type of schedule for you. So usually you're resting up Monday and Tuesday, and then getting back to practice Wednesday. This time they played Tuesday, so Wednesday, Thursday. You're getting maybe 1 day of practice in before you're traveling and heading out. So I don't know. I like Houston in this one. I think that they're going to win the game straight up, so I took them and I took the points. So there you have it. There's me and Professor's picks. I have the Houston Texans plus 3.5. I have the Buffalo Bills plus 4. And I have the Washington, not Redskins anymore, plus 2.5 over the New York Giants. So that's where I went with that one. Washington, I think they're going to run. I don't know. You guys took the Giants and gave up the points. I think Washington's much better than the Giants. And now you've given, and I don't want to see this guy. I really hate to see what happens if he gets hit in the legs. But you give Alex Smith a week to do practice and everything. He's the best quarterback on their roster. So I already thought that they were only a quarterback away. So I guess we'll see. I think Washington wins that game outright. I don't even really think that's close, to be honest with you. That Washington defense is a lot better than people give them credit for.
Is Smith starting this week, or are they going with Allen?
They benched Haskins.
I'm pretty sure it's Smith. I'm pretty sure they said they were moving forward with Smith. So
I hate to see his leg get hit. Oh my god.
Yeah, man. I do not want to see that at all. But I mean, it's gonna happen. I mean, you're not going to go a full season without. It might not even be malicious. It might not even be somebody going at the legs. It could be somebody that gets blocked and loses his balance and falls into it. You know, when you've got a 300-pound lineman falling into your damn leg, and you're not paying attention, and it's planted, it's not going to be good, man. I don't want to see what happens.
Hopefully, he has like some sort of brace on that thing, or
he's got a titanium rod in his leg, so I mean. Worst case scenario, it's going to bend. He's going to look like fucking iRobot out there. But
be like Derrick Henry giving foot arms instead of stiff arms.
Right.
Derrick Henry is like.
He'll just bend that right back for him.
That's stiff arm.
Stand him up.
I'm so mad I didn't see that stiff arm live while we were on the air the other night.
Oh yeah.
I would have lost my shit.
Oh.
All right, guys, so this is your guys' segment here. It's Shop Talk. All you guys that are out there watching, I see you guys on the little eyeball here. It tells me people are watching. Definitely chime in. Let us know what you guys want to talk about. What do you guys want to get into? Hit us up in the chat. Let us know what we're getting into. But we will keep moving forward here. We've got some NFL picks to make. We've got a whole slate of games, not against the spread. We're going to go ahead and pick these games straight up. So let's go ahead and get right to that, shall we, boys?
Yes, sir. Let's get it.
All right. So, let's see. Just lost my page. Here we go. All right. So, we already touched on this one in the spread, but let's touch on this one straight up. We have the Texans and the Titans. Sounded to me like you guys were both on the Titans for this one straight up. I had said the Texans. Am I correct in assuming that?
Correct.
Okay, good analysis, guys. That's
I didn't know we were doing analysis. I thought we were just skipping right over that one.
I was confused because you said, "Am I correct to assume that the Texans are going to win, or that?"
Yeah, and then I do what I'm supposed to do, and I throw it to you guys, and hoping you guys will talk about it because this is a sports talk show, and you guys
told me that. Yeah, all right, well, I'll take care of this one, Jay. Sit down.
Well, I'm still wondering what degree the professor has, so I was just kind of lost there for a second.
Yeah.
Suckism.
Oh man.
But okay,
Uh,
I got you. So, anyways, Tennessee is definitely going to win this ball game. I don't think that Houston has a shot, to be honest. Just lost the head coach, obviously. I mean, yeah, Romeo Cornell's there as the interim. He's been down there for a while, so I mean, he could probably keep it cohesive, but I just think that Tennessee has too much for him offensively, defensively. Derrick Henry's just manhandling grown men week after week after week. I mean, he just friggin' hucked Josh Norman like 14 football fields away and just ran by him. So, I mean, I just think King Henry just runs all over.
But the reason why Houston's got a shot, though, is Deshaun Watson. I mean, the guy's averaging less than 10 incompletions a week. This guy has thrown for 1,400 yards already, 9 touchdowns. Will Fuller's been a beast for him so far.
Yeah, but their fucking defense is giving up 160 yards a game rushing, and you got Derrick Henry.
But that's why I think they can make this. I think this is going to be a shootout. I don't think Tennessee's defense is going to be
Tennessee
able to shut them
can control the
You
ball
think so?
if they want, or they can have Tannehill let it loose. But I think they give the ball to Henry and just ride it out all game long.
All right. I guess we'll see. I really think this is going to be a close game, though. I really do. I think that the Texans can score with anybody in the league. I really do. I've thought that, since before the season even started. I said the Texans were going to be one of those teams that was better than what people thought. Granted, got off to a rocky start with Bill O'Brien and some of the crappy play calls.
Well, that's what happens when you
They're still putting
trade
up
your
points in all their
fucking
losses.
stars.
Though. What's that?
That's what happens when you trade your stars.
Well,
they only traded one. They traded DeAndre Hopkins.
They got rid of Hopkins. They got rid of their running back the year before that. They got rid of their linemen. They're always
but they never really. Their
Clowney.
running back the year before. Their running back wasn't that good, and Clowney's always hurt.
They're always he's a terrible GM. He needs to stick to either coaching or offensive coordinator.
And
I agree, and that's why he lost his job.
And that's exactly what I brought up when they fired him. They should have just fired him as the GM and should have kept him on as the coach, because he's not a bad coach. I mean, he's obviously a better coordinator, but he's not a bad coach. I mean,
I don't know. I thought it was
with his terrible decisions. He's still there every year. So I mean,
yeah.
He's gonna be doing something right.
He still brings Houston to the playoffs, or he had been bringing Houston to the playoffs virtually every year. So I mean, he can't be all that bad,
Yeah, I mean, look, I guess we'll see. We'll see how it goes, but I really think this one's going to be a close one. Then we get into probably the twist game of the week. We've got the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Indianapolis Colts. Look, guys, I don't know about you guys, but I'm a believer in Joe Burrow. I'm a big believer in Joe Burrow. And I think that this week is going to be his coming out party. I think he's going to have a great game against the Colts. And I actually think the Bengals are going to win this one outright. What?
That wasn't me.
My bad. Anyways. The thing just came on.
We got I got the Bengals winning this one straight up. Hoffy, what about you?
No.
No.
I got who is it? Cincinnati versus Indiana. Yeah, I got Indianapolis. I'm not a believer in Joe Burrow at all. Not at all. I'm not a fan.
Really?
What's he had, like 2 big games? Yeah, against the 30th and the 17th pass ranked defense.
He's got 1,300 pass yards and 6 touchdowns in 5 games.
The 30th ranked, the 17th ranked, 18th ranked, and 29th ranked defense is what he's going against. Pass defense. So that doesn't impress me. Not yet.
I mean, Indy's
and if you want to talk about last year's numbers at LSU, he had 14 people drafted out of that class. All of them were his offense. So, I mean, I take Herbert over Burrows at this point.
Oh yeah, that's a definite fact.
I think he had there was 4
Herbert's
players in the past 4 years or 5 players out of the last 4 years have been drafted out of Oregon. LSU had 14 just last year. Burrows also sat the bench at Ohio State behind Cardell Jones in 15, JT Barrett, and then Dwayne Haskins. So how can you tell me he is the real deal when those 3 bums started over him?
I'm talking about the way that he's showing up now. I mean, because you could talk about that. You could also talk about in college, Tom Brady couldn't start over Drew Henne. Or Chad Henne.
He needs to.
Whatever the hell his name is. He couldn't start over him, and now he came out to be the GOAT. So, I mean, you can talk about that all you want, but right now, Joe Burrow has proven that he's been worth the number 1 draft pick. Absolutely, 110%. You can't take that away from him.
No, I wouldn't take that away from him.
No, and every week the guy gets hit. I mean, he looks like
he is in Cincinnati, so I mean, I'll give him that. But
yeah, they have no offensive line. They can't pass protect him to save their lives.
I mean, I look at him right now as like a Carson Palmer. Put up numbers, never did anything more than put up numbers. I think that's what Joe Burrow's career is going to be, especially if he's in Cincinnati, unfortunately.
Yeah, especially if he stays in Cincinnati, where they just...
But even when Palmer went to Arizona, he had good years, but he never did much.
They couldn't get rid of Marvin Lewis after every losing season that they ever had with him, and that's just one of those franchises that you're just like, what the hell is going on here? Like, you or I could probably run the franchise better than any of the bums that they had down there for GM. But I think I'm going to take the Colts on this one too. I just think the defense is a little bit too strong. Their safeties and defensive backs are actually decent in Indy, and I think they're going to be able to shut down
defense.
Those couple receivers that they do have down there in Cincinnati. And AJ Green is very frustrated with everything that's going on right now. So I wouldn't expect to see him have any type of a game anytime soon, because I think he wants to get out of there.
Yeah.
He said he wants to stay. I don't understand why, though. Bouncing shit first chance.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so then we got the Vikings and the Falcons. Look, both of these teams are very underperforming right now. I mean, you got the Falcons at 0-5, you got the Vikings at 1-4. Both defenses look like horse shit. The offenses both look like we thought what the offenses would be. They're scoring 30-plus points a game. They're scoring enough to win, but their defenses aren't allowing them to win. So, what are you guys seeing going on in this one straight up? I know we talked about against the spread, but what happens in this one straight up?
I see Atlanta's 31 ranked defense continuing to be the worst defense in the league. I think Cousins and Cook and Thielen and the crew get it done in Minnesota.
Okay.
I think they actually show up on defense too for once.
Jay?
Yeah, I hate to keep agreeing with Hoffy here, but I mean, Atlanta can't save a lead for their life. Like I was just saying before, they could have a 50-point lead, and the third quarter comes around, and they're definitely blowing it. So I mean,
28-3.
Exactly, and I mean they got a great offense. The offense can go and play with anybody. It's just that defense that's horrible. That defense just is horrible.
I think that the Vikings have been waiting for Dalvin Cook to break out, and I think this is where he breaks out. I think Dalvin Cook runs for close to 200 yards this week. I like the Vikings straight up
Cook's
too.
Breakup. Yeah.
I like the Vikings straight out. I think it's going to be a high scoring game though. I think you're going to see something. You're probably going to see something like 40 to 31 or something crazy like that. But
I mean, because the Vikings,
it's going to be a fun game to watch too.
I mean, the Vikings defense isn't really all that it's cracked up to be either. I mean, I know that I thought it was going to be a lot better than it is this year, and I mean they don't look so hot right now either. Right. So I mean, this could be a shootout.
Yep. So this game we thought we were going to see last Sunday, then we thought we were going to see it on Monday, and now we get to see it on Sunday. We have the Broncos and the Patriots. Cam Newton will play in this game. It is in New England.
Gilmore too.
What do you got?
Gilmore too. I'm going.
Yeah. Can you believe Gilmore tested positive last week and he's already back on the field? So much for 2 weeks.
Of course I can believe it. It's the NFL. It's about money. It's the only reason why this game was moved from Monday to Sunday was so that Cam Newton could play.
Right. I had this being an ass whooping before the Denver Broncos opened their mouths on Instagram and complained all week long before their coach had to tell them to shut their mouth. But you're the worst, 31st offense in the league or something, 29th. You have no time. You need the practice. Don't be complaining that you're asked to practice. You make a lot of money. God forbid you have to fucking show up and do something for it.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. Look, the Patriots are going to whoop that ass. This is going to be a blowout, and because of all their complaining and because of all their chirping, Bill Belichick is not going to lay off the throttle.
Mm-mm.
Bill
No.
Belichick is going to put up point after point after point, and if you're
What's
up
it,
by
9
45
point?
in the fourth quarter, he's still going to be passing the ball.
What are we favored by 9 points?
9.5.
Yeah, I think that and then some.
You might actually see little Stidham in this game here.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
Stidham will be in by the second quarter.
I think this is going to be a blowout.
Edelman will be in by the third.
Right. And then I'll be in there drinking beers by the fourth. So
Perfect.
All you
All
gotta do
right,
is
so
hand
then
the
we
ball
got
off.
the Washington, not Redskins anymore, versus the New York Giants. This one in New Jersey at the Meadowlands. What do we got, guys?
You know what we got.
You guys are taking the Giants to really win this game straight up.
Yes.
What about the Giants makes you think that they're going to win any games this year and not go 0-16?
Their quarterback play in this one.
Really?
Yeah.
I think Jones has a pretty. I'm not banging the drum that he's all that, but I think if you had Barkley and you had a solid team around him, defense, I think he can be a pretty decent quarterback. I know
He is
Barkley's
111 for 182 this year.
I know, but how about Mitch the True Trubisky? He wasn't much better.
Oh, okay. So that's who you want to compare him to, and then say how good he is?
No,
Really?
I'm just saying. I got
Really?
faith in him in this game. In this game, yes.
You're out of your mind because the Washington defense is going to obliterate him.
Nope.
That Washington defense is really good.
They're real. I've said they're real all year, but no, I think he
Yeah,
has a
they
game
are.
this week.
They are good. I mean,
I think you're wrong.
I don't know
Jay?
if I think there's any given Sunday. I mean, anything can happen, obviously. But I mean, I just think the quarterback play, like Hoff, you said, I know Daniel Jones hasn't had a great game collectively yet this year, but I think this is one he could actually come out and have one of those Daniel Jones type games from like last year, when he was actually Danny Dimes and not just
Right.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones, the bum, But so I think he has one of those Danny Dime type of games and just comes out and just dices them.
All right. I'm going with Washington here. I'm going with Washington all the way. I don't even think that this one's close. I think Washington gets a 2-score, maybe even 3-score victory on the Giants. The Giants are just bad. They're bad. They're going to go 0-16. They are not a good football team.
They're
They're getting the number one
eighth
pick.
defense. They're bad, but
are
they got the
trash.
8th-ranked defense. They still have the
are
8th-ranked
trash.
defense. All they got to do is play defense. Daniel Jones has a decent game.
They've
they
got
win.
the 8th-ranked defense, and who have they played this year? They've
Still,
got the 8th-ranked
They're
defense.
top and the Colts are number one, and where are they in the power rankings?
Right.
Come on. The
You're-
8th-ranked defense, no matter what you... No.
You're wrong. Washington beats them.
He says you're
All right.
wrong.
So then we've got the Ravens and the Eagles. This game is another one that's not going to be close. The Ravens are going to demolish the Eagles. I think Carson
You're
Wentz
out of your mind.
Jalen Hurts is going to be in the game by the probably
I think-
halftime.
I think they should
No,
start
now
him.
you're really smoking something. He's not touching the field this game, but they do
Remember
get
how
both
I
rates.
said Daniel Jones was 111 for 182? Carson Wentz is 117 for 195. And he
They're not-
throws like 3 interceptions a week. This
He
guy
should have already been benched, but they're not
he's
going to
been
do it.
atrocious. And the Ravens are going to wax that ass.
Oh, they're going to spank them.
Yeah, which is
down.
why they're probably not going to put Jalen Hurts in to get his
You
ass
really
smacked.
think the Eagles are going to play with the Ravens?
No, I don't think that. I'm just trying to give you shit, but I don't think it's smart to put Hurts in there and have his ass get whooped just like Wentz. I leave Wentz in for this week, bring Hurts in next week. Give him a shot.
I think
Don't
they should
shut
start
the guy.
Hurts.
I think Hurts gives you a better chance to actually compete.
Do you
Me too.
seriously think he's going to be decent?
I
Hurts?
do.
Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, I do.
He'll be all
I
right.
really do.
He'll be better than Daniel Jones.
I think he's actually gonna surprise you when he does get his shot. I mean, you saw what his track record in college. I mean, yeah, did he get freaking taken out by Tua? Yeah, he did, but I mean, he went to Oklahoma the year after.
He put up numbers in Oklahoma.
You saw the numbers he put up.
I think he was a runner-up for Heisman. I don't know if his skill sets translate to the NFL. I mean,
hey, I guess we'll see.
I'd like to see him be successful. I'm not an Alabama fan by any means. When I like to see all Alabama players fall on their face, but Dante Hightower. But I do like Hurts and think he could be decent. I just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. All right. So then we got the Browns and the Steelers. This one is tough for me because I think this one's going to be a lot better game than we would have thought so if we looked at the schedule at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
So
I mean, division game. I mean, always plays.
And the Browns always seem to play the Steelers tough, unless you get Myles Garrett going after the Steelers quarterback with a helmet. But I don't think he's going to try that with Big Ben. Big Ben would
like to see
eat
him
his
try
helmet and then eat him. But look, this is going to be my upset pick of the week. I've got the Browns over the Steelers. Hoffy?
No, I got the Steelers, and I think it was last I checked 3.5. I think they cover that. I think they win by like a touchdown. I think it ends up coming down to like 2 minutes left, and I think Big Ben has the ball and he gets his team a touchdown to win the game and cover the spread. But I do think it is a close game. It goes down to like the last drive of the game for sure.
Yeah, I think this is a coin flip here. I mean, the Browns have proven at least this year that they actually got something going on, and I mean, the Steelers, what they are already, just hard-nosed, smash-mouth football, and, Big Ben looks actually decent this year.
Mm-hmm.
Came off that surgery, and he looks good. I mean, doesn't look like he ate, 84 million Big Macs over the off season and everything else. I think this is a close one. Like
Holmes took them all.
Let's check back in with the chat real quick. We got breaking news. Fortnite took my son's NFL skin.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, poor kid. Says Patriots all day. Part-time nerd. What up? What's going on, Alan? How are we? This game is going to be ugly. Not sure which game you were talking about because I'm
talking about the Patriots.
Some of the chat. Part-time nerd says Washington. Washington actually has a pretty good defense. Washington football team equals the Washington Joe Bucks.
Oh, man.
Oh, Chase Young might destroy Danny Dimes. That's true. Chip Cannon says LOL. Part-time nerd says the Browns. If they play the game, Browns are getting the COVID. COVID, is it coming out of Miami now?
Actually, is Atlanta even going to play this week? Because they shut that facility down this morning,
I know
right?
the game was
they had a test positive.
Yeah, they were talking about it, but last I heard it hadn't been canceled yet, so it's still on the schedule. So that's why we went with it. All right, let's move on with some more of these picks here. We got the Bears and the Panthers. Boys, you go ahead and take this one first. Hoffy, you go.
I can't wait to piss you off on this one. Your Bears are getting
piss me off.
Spanked.
Oh,
I got Teddy Bridgewater on this one.
Hot take.
Yep.
Nah, I don't even really think it's that much.
You also think LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan, so I don't take your.
No, I said they're sitting at the same damn table.
No, you said he was better. You tried saying he was better, and then he got beat
down. A little bit better.
And you changed your mind so much that you're wearing a Jordan jersey.
Your wife told me your ass is all red from last night's beatdown, so.
And
Greg took you to school.
And chat.
Time nerd says Panthers easy.
See? What's up,
Jay?
man?
What do you got?
Yeah, I think the Panthers take it too, honestly. I mean, I'm not even trying to just be a dick or anything, but I do think that they take it, honestly. And I think Teddy Bridgewater throws all over that defense. And I mean, I don't think this is going to be a big victory or anything like that. Maybe 3-point game, maybe a touchdown somewhere in there.
There hasn't been a quarterback. But Tom Brady couldn't even throw all over this defense. They were hitting Tom Brady so much he forgot it was 4th down at the end of the game. You don't think that they're going to do that?
That's because Tom Brady's
They're going to shut down
bro.
Teddy Bridgewater.
They're
going to shut down
old.
Carolina.
Bridgewater's going to throw all over this defense.
The Bears win this. The Bears win this game, and they win it by probably 10 or more.
Yeah.
And that's not a homer pick. That's me saying there is no way, after watching what this Bears defense did to Tom Brady, there is no way Teddy Bridgewater is going to sit there and pick this team apart. There's just not. That Bears secondary is very good. Kyle Fuller is a beast. He is probably the most underrated cornerback in the league. So, and Carolina has zero offensive weapons beyond Teddy Bridgewater.
You're about to see what goes down, Diddy Combs.
All right.
Yeah, this is coming from the homer that talks about Jordan being the best. He's only seen 2 of his assists in his whole fucking career.
Facts.
Oh, shit. Somebody was watching After Dark last night. All right.
Told you, you got your ass beat.
I did not.
You had me believing that I was dead wrong and LeBron was serving Jordan at the table.
Because you were wrong.
Okay, but Greg put him right back at the table last night, so he took you to school.
Hey, that was my only argument to begin with. Is
your argument from last night
is sitting at the table.
You're talking about
Sorry,
Wayne?
I don't remember. Yeah, Wayne. Sorry, I don't remember. Wayne G. Thank you. Wayne G. whooped your ass.
No, he did. You're out of your mind. You better go back and watch again, and this time not be drunk when you watch.
I don't drink. I'm a recovering alcoholic. Last time I had an alcoholic beverage was
you guys have been wrong about 40% of these games, especially that last one, because the Panthers are going to get waxed in Carolina.
Nah.
We got the Lions and the Jaguars, another freaking barn burner.
Wow. They should have played that game.
Wait till we get to the next one.
They should have played that game tonight.
It probably was the planned game for tonight, or it might have been the next one might have been the planned game for tonight. But either way, I'm glad we don't have to suffer through it tonight, and at least there's other games we can watch on Sunday that we don't have to suffer through these ones.
Right.
Is Uncle Rico playing in this one, or is it going to be Minshew?
It's Gardner Minshew. Look, you go ahead and you laugh at Gardner Minshew all you want, but he's
got
got
him in
better
this one.
completion percentage. He's thrown for more yards and more touchdowns than your boy Daniel Jones or your boy Carson Wentz. So I don't even want to hear.
I didn't say they were my boy by any means.
They're your boys. They're your boys. Yeah.
No.
They need to start Jalen Hurts.
I'll take Tua. Tua's my boy.
You love overrated players. I mean, it might be because you were one, but still. Let's go. I am going with the
coming from the guy that says the best shortstop he's ever seen play, but I'm overrated. Okay.
I'm going with the Jacksonville Jaguars to beat the Detroit Lions. I'm just joking. I'm going with the Lions in this one.
Minshew. You talked all this shit about Minshew's the best, and now you're going against him?
Sat there, just hanging off his mustache, and now all of a sudden he's going to be taking the Lions? Like, come on, bro.
No, I'm going with the Lions. I think that the Lions are better than the Jacksonville Jaguars all the way around. So I'm going with the Lions here. I think it's going to be a close game. It's probably going to be a boring, 16-13 type game, but that's where I'm going with that one. Jay,
I also see the Lions taking this one as well. I don't really believe in the Minshew hype. I'm not there. Yeah, he's better than Danny Dimes. He's better than, a couple of these other guys that are in the league right now, but they don't have anything around him either, So,
right.
Lions on this one for sure.
Hoffy?
No, Matt Patricia and his defense is not going to get it done. They're ranked 28th, and like you said, Mr. Minshew's thrown for 300-plus every game. So, yeah, I think Minshew goes off on this one. And
Part-time nerd says he thinks this one's a high-scoring game. You guys, either one of you guys think this is a high-scoring game?
I got them covering the spread, but yeah, I could see Jacksonville putting up 28 points.
What's the over? The over/under in this
3.5?
one is 54.5. I'd take the under all day on this one.
Yeah, I would go the under.
I take the under, but I think Jacksonville's going to put up 28, but I think Detroit's only putting up 20.
I don't think this one's a high-scoring game at all. No chance.
I think. Like you said before, like a 16-13 or a 20.
Sucks. Patricia does suck. He's not a very good head coach, and this team's not very good. Look, the Lions aren't very good, but neither are the Jacksonville Jaguars. So somebody's got to win this game. It might be a tie. I mean, that's a possibility, but I'm going to go with the Lions. It's going to be a close one. It's going to be low scoring. He says he's taking the over. Well, sir, give me a buzz and let me know how much you're willing to put on it. And instead of betting Vegas, bet me. Because I will take that bet
I'll take seconds on that one.
Long. All day long, I would take that bet. All right. Moving on, another barn burner, another one we probably don't really want to spend too much time on. We have the Jets and the Dolphins.
Fitzmagic, baby!
Fitzmagic.
Jets and the Dolphins. This one is going... Yeah, Fitzmagic's going to win this one by 3 scores. He's probably going to throw for 300, 400 yards and be Fitzmagical again. And the Dolphins are going to absolutely annihilate the New York Jets. And both New York teams are going 0-16 this year.
How
much beer have you been drinking tonight?
The Jets always win at least. The Jets always win at least one in the division somehow, some way. So I don't know about them going, 0-16, but maybe if they want to try to get Trevor Lawrence,
they're going 0-16 this year. They got this is the only shot that they have to win a game is beating one of these 2 games versus the Dolphins. Other than that, they got the Bills, the Chiefs, the Patriots, the Chargers, the Raiders, the Seahawks, the Rams, and the Browns.
Wow. Yeah.
The Jets are going 0-16.
Yeah, they're going 0-16. Never mind. Never mind.
Do you think Sam Darnold's a bust, or do you think it's just the Jets?
I think it's the Jets, man. He looks good. Like when the Jets were actually protecting him the little bit that they were last year, for the couple of games that he did play, he looked decent. And I just think that it's just the Jets. Just like with Le'Veon Bell, it's the Jets.
He's in a system that's really hard to determine how good he is yet, because the Jets are. Adam Gase is awful. The Jets are awful. They need a complete overhaul, and it starts with the front office and ends with the head coach. And they need to figure something out because they are a dumpster fire.
Oh, big time.
Yeah, but there hasn't been a USC quarterback that's been, besides like Carson Palmer that did somewhat decent numbers, but he didn't even amount to much. So,
just when you think Fitzmagic is back, it blows up. Wouldn't be surprised if it's this game. I would. I mean, look, the Jets. I don't see them winning a game. If they do win a game, it's going to be one of these 2 versus the Dolphins. I have a hard time, especially after that game that they had last week. I have a hard time believing it's going to be against the Jets.
Yeah, they're 31 on offense and 25 on defense. They don't have a shot in hell.
Yeah.
They can't stop a nosebleed.
Nope. All right, so now we finally get back to some decent football games. And we have the Packers and Aaron Rodgers going up against Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Guys, look, I am not a Buccaneers fan, but I am on Sunday. I really want the Buccaneers to pull this out. I really want the Buccaneers to win this game, but they won't. I've got the Green Bay Packers, and I got the Green Bay Packers putting up 45 points, and Carlos Correa just walked off the Houston Astros. Damn it. 3-2. But anyway, I've got the Packers.
Minor setback for a big comeback.
They aren't coming all the way back. Just delaying the inevitable. Tampa Bay wins tomorrow.
Let's go, Stros.
Tampa Bay wins tomorrow. They finally get their number 1 starter back.
Just brought out the power.
And you know who wins on Sunday? The Bucks.
Oh, look at that. They brought out a trash can with them to celebrate.
Hell yeah.
You've got the Bucks on Sunday?
Oh, yeah. Tom Brady's got a bounce-back game. I hope you're right. I mean, he's going to have his 8 or 9, Tom Brady games, and then he's going to have his, 6 to 7 games like last week. He's 43 years old, but I think he's got the number 2 ranked defense right now on his side, and I think I know Aaron Rodgers is hot as hell right now, and but yeah, I think they get it. A high scoring game, like 33-30, but I think the Bucks and Tom Brady get it done. I think Evans, him, and Godwin, and the rest of the gang get it together.
Yeah.
Just for you, Coon.
Jay?
I don't think it's going to happen. I'm going with the Packers. Rodgers just looks way too good. Brady, like you said, he has those games every year where he just looks his age.
I am extremely jealous, Alan. I can't even tell you how jealous I am. I would Yeah, I hate you right now. Go ahead, Jay. Sorry.
So
Way to
so Brady
interrupt.
just has a couple of those games where he definitely acts his age, and it comes out. I think this is not close. Like
Yeah.
10. I think they win by like 10 at least.
Part-time nerd wants to know, will Godwin be back this week? So he's been a limited participant in practice.
Yeah.
Last time that I saw, which was earlier this afternoon, he was limited in practice yesterday. And so it's just going to depend on what his status is over today's practice and tomorrow's practice. I wasn't sure. I did not see if he was limited today. But if he is limited today and tomorrow, I would venture a guess and say he doesn't come back until next week and he takes another week off. The fact that he's still limited kind of surprised me, especially when you're coming off the injuries that he's coming off. Devontae Adams is coming off a hamstring injury, but he was a full participant in practice this week. So that's another reason why the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are in trouble. Devontae Adams is back, and they were putting up points without Devontae Adams, and now they get him back.
Big
So,
points,
I mean,
He said he was ready last week, and they wouldn't let him play, or the week before that, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I think they had the bye
last week. This one's going to
week.
be ugly. The Dodgers just broke out the sticks. They jumped up 1-0 in the third inning. Edwin Rios just hit a home run. It is 1-0 Dodgers in the third. All right, and the Sunday night game is the Rams and the 49ers.
Oh, God.
This is a game that I can't wait to watch baseball on Sunday night. The Rams and the 49ers. Look, this one's a tough one. I mean, I don't know who's going to win this game. The Rams have looked good so far, but they're also that team that I feel is not very good. I think they're a 4-1 team that's going to finish 8-8, 9-7. So I'll go ahead and take the Niners in this one. Niners are at home.
Those fans are going to make a hell of a difference this week.
Right?
No, I got the Rams. That 49ers team is in shambles. Injuries. Jimmy Garoppolo, is he their quarterback? Is he not their quarterback? And I'm not talking just this week. We're talking future. Now, he did come out last week and said, this is my team. Maybe he comes out and has a game and says, hey, this is my team. But I don't see that happening. I see
a chip on
the
the
Los
shoulder
Angeles
type game?
Rams winning this.
Okay. Jay?
San Francisco, always usually, that doesn't
Always
sound,
usually. All
but
right.
always usually.
My shit always
But,
works sometimes.
You and Professor need to go back to school.
always usually plays them hard. No, but it's usually a good game between these two teams, and I think that San Francisco does have the weapons to actually make this a game. Whether they do or not, that's, I guess, for another day. But I think I'm going to take the Rams here, even though I'm not really sold on them all that much, but I do think that they get it done here. Exactly.
90% of baseball is half mental. All right. So then we get to the Monday night games real quick. We got the Bills and the Chiefs. I think that's going to be the best of the Monday night games. It's actually a Monday afternoon game. Hell, it's a 2 o'clock start for you out there on the West Coast, Hoffy. We got Bills and Chiefs. I'm taking the Chiefs straight up. I'm taking the Bills against the spread. I think that the Chiefs win this one, but I think it's a closer game than we think. I do think the Bills have the capability to pull this one off. So it would not shock me if they do win this one straight up, but I think it's going to be closer than the 5-point spread that's out there. So, but I'm taking the Chiefs straight up here. Hoffy?
No, I got excuse me. Yeah, I'm sorry. You're right. The Chiefs. I thought you were going with the Bills. My fault. Yeah, I don't think. Like I said last week, I wanted to see the Bills show up against the Titans and make me a believer, and they did not show up. So until they show up, I'm gonna have them on my just at the not quite there yet. So I do think the Chiefs beat them, and I think they beat them by 10 plus.
All right, Jay.
I think the Chiefs win this one too. I think it's going to be closer than we all think. The Bills
Not
do.
closer than I think. I said it's going to be under a 5-point game.
Oh, well, closer than Hoppy thinks at least. Closer than Hoppy thinks at least. I think this is going to be, like you said, 5 points, right around there. The Bills have a good defense. They just haven't put it together yet. That front seven could easily be one of the best in football. They just haven't put it together yet. I think the back end of that defense is good. They just haven't put it together yet. I think the Bills' defense just needs to have that one game where, the front seven and then that back end of that defense just all put it together and just we really see what the Bills' defense can honestly do. But, I mean, I think Mahomes and Kelsey and, Tyreek Hill and all these guys that they have over there are just too much, Yeah. And every week they're just going to be too much for pretty much every single team. I mean, yeah, I know they just gave up one, but
they've had 3 shaky weeks in a row. I think they put it together this week.
Right, exactly. Like you said, they had 3 shaky weeks, but I do think they put it together this week and actually, win, but not by a blowout by any means or anything.
And then the final game of the week is the Cowboys and the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh, that's another barn burner.
Yeah, so this one I actually think is going to be a really good game. I think it's going to be a whole lot of fun to watch. I think I think that the Dallas Cowboys are just much more poised to suck under Andy Dalton than the Cardinals are with Kyler Murray. I think the Cardinals win this one, and I think that the Cardinals win this one, and they win it big unless Zeke just absolutely goes off.
Oh, you're giving up on your brother there? The Redheaded Coalition?
No, the Red Rocket's done.
Go fuck yourself.
I thought you gingers are supposed to unite, man. You guys are supposed to form like Voltron or whatever.
Are you a true ginger?
Look,
you just dye your hair.
Yeah, you're just giving that up.
Look, he's just not that good. What do you want from me? The guy in Cincinnati had more weapons, and I don't know what to tell you. He was horrible. He was horrible in Cincinnati.
He's
not going to be good here in Dallas.
Feed him.
Zeke.
Feed him. It's basically what's going to happen is he's just going to turn around and hand Zeke the ball about 30 times. He's going to have to throw maybe about 20, 25 times maybe. And they're just going to give Zeke the ball. I think that the Arizona Cardinals win, but I don't think that they win in any type of big fashion because I think that all Dallas is going to do is run the ball and just kill the clock, eat it, and hopefully the Red Rifle can, make a couple plays and actually make this a close one, but I don't really see it.
I have zero faith in him.
Red Rifle gets this one done. Red Rifle and Zeke. You just feed Zeke all game long. Absolutely.
He might be the only person in the world picking Dallas to win this game.
Who was the dude that came on here the other day and said that they're going to win this game? He chimed in on our your buddy from last night. Called in on his cell phone.
He was like, yeah, Dallas is going to win this game. Oh, they're going to win that game, too.
Yeah.
And that game.
See,
I got them going.
He's got Dallas.
I got them going 11-5.
He's also a Dallas
Best in the division.
Is he really? I thought he was a Colts fan.
No. That's the boys from Twist. That's the boys from Twist. And we're going to get into there.
No,
we're about to get heated right now because we're going to take a quick break. And then when we come back from break, we are getting into Benzi's top 10 power rankings heading into
garbage.
week 6.
This should be interesting.
Wait till you guys hear this shit. We'll be back. Give us about 90 seconds.
Benzie sucks.
Open up my emotions just to make me pussy. Tell the trolls keep trolling. Bet your ass won't push me. All you ass do is push keys. You excited my demons. Even demons scared of me. Only fight when I'm sleeping. God, why am I breathing? Got no rhyme and no reason. That's the reason I rhyme. Niggas finding my season. I'm tired of y'all eating. I'm just tired of me starving. Actually, I'm being honest. I'm just tired of being confident. I'm ripping the whole than your whole operation. I run out of patience and run out of pages to write that I run out of pages. I jump on the mic and go nuts on the stage. It's so fucking amazing that nothing amazes you motherfuckers anymore. Cause my cadence is never stay the same. Don't ever say my name. The hell out my way. Got the devil in my head. The devil's in my brain. Like whoa, 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 whoa. No, 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 no. Not gonna slow the flow down so you supposed to know what I'm saying until you replay this shit over and over. I'm only a minute in, already said more than you say in one of your albums. Wow, standing in the ring and ready to get it in. Let me know who want a problem. Holla, I ain't never ran a fuck what you thought. More battles than you ever fought nowadays. 269 and then telling when they get caught. I'm sticking to the code. Jump before the sun, signal with the flow. Only getting hotter to hit the road. Trying to make these dollars, getting book more. Fuck everybody. It's my gun, oh my gosh. You see me with the lights off. Cause I'm a fucking star. I said that on the first call. What's my first step on? I bet you didn't know it. But now you fucking do. Cause you're all up on here we go. Put the ass on nose. On the low. About to blow. Time to put the ass on nose. Hey, no, let 'em know. Go ahead, put the ass on nose. About to take over the globe, baby. No way they ain't gon' know. Here we go. From the go. Put the ass on nose. On the low. About to blow. Time to put the ass on nose. Hey, no, let 'em know. Go ahead, put the ass on nose. About to take over the globe, baby. No way they ain't gon' know.
All right, guys, we are back. Let's get into Benzi's power rankings for the All Access Sports Network. Now, look, I don't know about you guys, but I know every week that Benzi comes on this show, I like to give him a lot of crap. And mostly it's been because he's had the Colts in there multiple times. He's also had, the Saints. He refuses to put the Bears in there no matter how good the Bears were. He had the 1-2 Saints in there the week they were 1-2 and the Bears were 3-0. So he refused. At this point, I think he's just doing it to piss me off. But at any rate, let's go through his top 10. You have at number 10, he has the New Orleans Saints. Surprise, surprise. He cannot get away from the New Orleans Saints. I don't know what it is.
They're 1-3 now.
No, they're 3-2.
2-2, 3-2.
3-2.
Oh,
but they just barely got past the Chargers. And look, this team, the offense just does not scare you. I mean, they're not very good offensively. They're really missing Michael Thomas. I don't see how you see them being better than. I mean, hell, if you're going to pick a 3-2 team out of that South, I mean, I'd go with the Buccaneers. Like I just would. I mean, I get that they just lost to the Bears, but the
their
Saints
defense is better.
The Saints have not been very good at all. I don't know what he sees here. So he's got the Saints at number 10. At number 9, he has the Cleveland Browns. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with the Browns sneaking into your top 10 at 4-1. I still need to see a little bit more from them to know that they're for real. But right now, heading into Week 6, they're 4-1, and they look good. And they had a big win last week.
I don't have a problem with them at number 9, 8 or 9, right in there.
Yeah,
sounds
not at all.
Sounds good for the Browns right now.
Then at number 8, and I get that they lost last night, but just because you underrated the Titans at 3-0 and you did not have them in your top 10, does not mean that last night's loss should have dropped the Buffalo Bills from 4 down to 8. Okay, the Buffalo Bills lost a game to a very good team that you underrated last week and didn't have in your top 10, and that drops them down to 8, which I don't see. They are not worse than 8 other teams in the league right now. The Buffalo Bills are very good. They had a down night on a team that, let's face it, I'm pretty sure they went into this thinking they're going up against a team that hadn't practiced and was moving from game to game and didn't know what the hell they were doing with anything and thought they were going to walk all over Tennessee, and it didn't happen. Tennessee beat them up. And so I don't think it drops them down to 8, but that's where he has the Bills. Guys,
that's why I got
the Bills at 8?
No, I had, what did I have? I had Tennessee at 8 and Buffalo at 6 going into this week. And like I said, I didn't believe that Buffalo was going to win, and I figured I was just going to flip-flop them. And after that game, that's exactly what I did. So, yeah, I got Tennessee at 6 now and Buffalo at 8. So I switched them.
Hoffy, are the Bears in your top 10?
Yes, sir. Number 10.
You see, you got to put a 4-1 team over a 3-2 team, right? I mean, they're 4-1, and they went out and just beat Tom Brady. Like, what do they got to do to garner your respect to get into the top 10?
Yeah,
I
I
don't
just do the
understand
top
it,
10,
Benzie.
and I had like as of last week, I had like New England, the Bears, and Cleveland like right on that 11, 12, 13 spot, and
Us.
past week, I had to, especially beating Tom Brady and that Bucks team.
And the way they beat them, it wasn't just that they
Absolutely,
beat them;
yeah.
they dominated
That's
them.
what I mean. Yeah, because
And I don't understand. So, Benzie, when you watch this, if you're watching it right now, chime in. But when you watch this, I don't know what you're watching. I think that is just because you don't like the Bears because you're a Minnesota guy. That you don't want the Bears in your top 10. You're killing me. You're absolutely killing me. There is no way that the Saints are better than the Bears right now. The Browns aren't better than the Bears right now. The Rams aren't better than the Bears right now. All of which you have in your top 10.
I take
the Browns. The Browns are definitely better than the Bears right now.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
Yeah, they definitely are.
All around, I think they are. I don't
Yeah,
think
all around. They
And
definitely are.
in a game,
Well,
with
if
that
they're not better
Chicago
than them
defense,
defensively, Hoffy, then they're not better than them all around. I hate to tell you.
that offense is fucking atrocious.
Well, right. So they're
Chicago.
better than them on one side of the ball, not all around.
I'd take
said
that. Defense and offense together. Overall numbers, I'm taking them over your Chicago Bears.
All right. Well, at any
don't
rate,
trust
at number 7,
your
he
quarterback.
has the Los Angeles Rams at number 7. I get it.
That's right. I got him.
I think they're the worst of the 4-1 teams. I think them and the Bears are probably the worst of the 4-1 teams. I mean, I'll admit that. But I think the Bears are better than the Rams. I do. I think that the Bears, if you put the Bears and the Rams in a game this week, I think the Bears would win that one, and I think the Bears will win it kind of easily as well. It's been the case over the last 3 years. The Bears have played the Rams in each of the last 2 seasons and have just dominated them. And so I think this time will be any difference.
Even with like the less than stellar QB play from Chicago, like they're still flip flopping these guys. Like I know that Foles just started or whatever, but I mean, it's not like Foles is out there killing it either, or he didn't last week. You know, I mean, he had an okay game.
Offense.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that the Rams they're definitely below the Bills. They're definitely below the Browns. So I don't know. I don't know what he's seeing. At number 6, he has the Tennessee Titans. I think that he had the Titans not on the list last week was a joke, but now he's got him jumping all the way to 6 after beating the Buffalo Bills.
Crazy.
And now they jumped to 6, and you have the Bills down all the way to 8. So I think he's trying to catch up. You know what I feel like Benz's list is? You know how when you're arguing with somebody and you catch them in a lie, and then they try covering it up, and then their cover-ups just don't make sense? I think that's what's going on with Benzi's top 10 here, especially at the bottom.
Saints.
His top half is always okay, but we're going to get into that too because he's wrong in the top half this week, which I usually don't have an issue with. But I don't understand what he's doing. But he's got the Titans at 6. Then he's got the Ravens at 5. I'm okay with the Ravens at 5. I think that's where the Ravens belong. I think that they're a very good team. But right now, I just think that there are teams that are more well put together all around than the Baltimore Ravens, especially the 4 that he's got up at 4 in his top 4. I'd have no problem with his top 4. I just think they're in the wrong order. At number 4, you guys ready for number 4?
Pittsburgh,
Kansas City Chiefs.
Wow.
So he's got that loss this week for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Dropped them from 1 to
1 to 4.
1 to 4, huh?
So again, even with the loss, and I've said this before, I said I'm going to pick the Chiefs every week to be the best team in football every week, even after they lose. And for me, they are still the best team in football. They got caught up and they played down to their competition and they got caught up in it. So, I mean, I don't know. You guys tell me, are they the 4th best team in football right now?
No. They're still the best team in football, but I mean, you still have to put the undefeated teams before them, I think. But I don't think you not all the undefeated teams, because I think you drop the Chiefs down to 3, Pittsburgh 4, and then you have the Packers 1 and Seattle 2. I mean, just the way I look at it, but hey, that's just the way I see it.
All right. At number 3, he's got the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't have a problem with the Pittsburgh Steelers at 3 here. I guess I don't have a problem with the Steelers here at 3 because I think you can flip-flop them right now with the Seattle Seahawks. I think that they're both equal right now. I think the Seahawks are very good, but the defense is very bad. I think Pittsburgh is just a very good team all the way around, but I think that if you played them heads up, I think that this would be a very close game between the Seahawks and the Steelers. So he's got the Steelers at 3, the Seahawks at 2, and the Packers at 1. So the Seahawks jumped from 4 to 2, the Steelers jumped from 5 to 3, and the Packers jumped from 2 to 1. You guys have any? What are your guys' issues with this list?
I mean, just like you were saying about the Titans, they weren't even in the top 10 last week, and then now you have them all the way down at 6. Like, how is that even possible when they were outside and now all of a sudden they're at 6? I mean, that's a little, a little bit more of a jump than I would like to see. But I mean, other than that, I mean, his top 5, I don't think his top 5 is bad. I mean, just a couple in the wrong spots. It's the second half in which, could be a little bit better. But I
just have a problem with with the Titans. I had a problem with the Titans not being in it last week and then jumping all the way to 6. Yeah. Like, if the Titans were in it, I don't have a problem with them at 6. The fact that they weren't even in it, and now they pull off a game against Buffalo, and now you're like, oh, you know what? Maybe I was wrong. Now they're at 6, so you drop Buffalo all the way down from 4 to 8. I don't know. Like, that's where I think he's just getting caught up. Hoffy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I got Green Bay 1, Seattle 2. I put Kansas City at 3, and then I got Pitt at 4. So, I guess it's pretty much close to what he's got, minus flip-flop and Kansas City and Pitt.
Yeah. And then he had 5 the Ravens, 6 Tennessee, 7 the Rams. I mean,
yeah.
Besides dropping Tennessee in at 6 and not having them in last week, which they should have been in. They should have been in there last week, somewhere. Somewhere they should have been in there. But I mean, it's not all that bad. Except I think I would have the Bears in there as well at 10.
Right. All right, so that's Benzie's top 10, and Benzie's top 10 is gross again. And so, Benzie, I don't know what you're doing. Your new wife apparently did not lock the liquor cabinet before breakfast today when you were doing your top 10. I don't know, buddy. I don't know what you're watching. Maybe you should, drive down here to Chicago one Sunday. We'll watch football together so I can actually teach you about the game, and maybe you can actually put together a decent list. All right, so we're going to take another quick break, and when we get back, we will talk some Major League Baseball. We've got the Houston Astros trying to make life hell for the Tampa Bay Rays and the rest of the baseball world. They brought it back to 3-2, and we got the Dodgers and Braves going on right as we speak. So we'll be back here. Give us about 90 seconds.
I can't wait till they come back.
All right, boys. That is Mises with Roof Off. That is our guy. All right, guys. So, baseball playoffs are heating up. The Houston Astros, look, they're down 3-0. It is now 3-2. Jay, you keep rooting for them to win the World Series. I'm going to vomit if they come back and win this series. But 3-2, when it's 3-2, man, anything can happen.
It's a good way.
You have to come out and you have to win Game
weight.
6. Yeah, and if you win Game 6, anything can happen in Game 7 for sure. But, I mean, look, I've seen it before. I watched it with the Cubs in 2016. I thought they were dead in the water. They were down 3-1 to Cleveland. I really thought that they were going to lose. If they didn't lose Game 5, I thought for sure they were done in 6. And then they just came out. They barely won Game 5, just like the Astros just did. Then the Cubs came out in Cleveland and just annihilated Cleveland in Game 6 and forced a Game 7. And we all know what happened there. So, look, it's not impossible. I don't want to see it. Usually I do root for the underdogs. Usually I do root for chaos. This is not one of them times I'm going to root for chaos. And I want the Rays to end it tomorrow. I want the Rays to come out and jump on top 7-0. You're going to go with your ace tomorrow. And so I just really hope that they come out with the bats blazing tomorrow. Hoffy, what do you think? You think they're coming back?
I mean, they got the offense to do it. And their average isn't too bad. They're hitting 270 as a team, I think. So
yeah,
I mean, but at the same time, you got the Tampa Bay, pitching staff, which, what's their ERA? Three runs a game.
Yeah.
So I could see them. Like you said, you win Game 6, anything's possible in Game 7. But I think the Rays get it done in Game 6, and they need to get it done in Game 6 because I don't like it if it goes Game 7. Fuck off, Jay.
Yeah,
if this goes to a Game 7, the Rays are in trouble.
Yeah.
They are in trouble.
I'm inclined to agree with you there.
The bats are coming out. The Stros are winning this series. And not only are they winning this series, but they're going to win the World Series, and it's going to be the best thing to ever happen to baseball.
First of all, it's not going to be the best thing to ever happen to baseball. It's going to be atrocious. But, look, God, I really don't want to see this happen. But if they do win Game 6, I'm inclined to agree with you. If they do pull it off and they do win Game 6, I think that they're going to win it in 7. And, God, I really hate to see that. But that's I
want it so bad just because I just think it'd be the greatest storyline. Like, a team that just got off cheating 2 years ago comes back, 2 years later, and they're like, oh, all right. We're just going to prove that, we really didn't need to cheat. Even though we did, we just took the advantage. But we didn't need to.
Huffy, put this kid in his place, would you?
This is comical to me.
Because Hoffy wants to see it happen too. Deep down inside, Hoffy wants to see it happen too. Like, he comes in and he's like, oh, the Rays. But no, he wants to see it happen too.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I want to see offense, and I don't think the Rays have the offense, but I don't want to see a bunch of cheating scumbags, get rewarded for the fact that they, said, hey, this is what we did. This is how we cheated, but we're okay. Yeah, okay, thanks. Bye.
Yeah.
No, fuck that shit. You guys, they should have been with Alex Cora and their manager. They should have been gone for at least a year. No, I don't want. I'd rather see a boring World Series, 1-0 every game with Tampa Bay and Atlanta before I see Houston in it at all.
Yeah, absolutely. So then we got the Dodgers in Atlanta. Kershaw got scratched. He's pitching tonight. Dodgers were up 1-0, and Marcelo Ozuna just took Clayton Kershaw deep. That game is tied 1-1 in the bottom of the 4th. Braves are up 2-1. If they win tonight, it's over.
Tonight's a must-win for the Braves. No, I think tonight's a must-win for the Braves. I don't think they want to be 2-2. Yeah, after last night's game, Dodgers are riding a high, and if they win tonight too, and they put up, I know it's only 1-1 right now, but if they put up a 5 or so, I think they're gonna think, we got this. And yeah, I mean, I don't want to see Cody Bellinger and Mookie Betts get hot. If those bats get hot, you're in some trouble. I don't care who
Dodgers versus so part-time nerd. If you're still watching, buddy, Alan, if you have to suffer through Dodgers versus Astros in Game 1 of the World Series, I am no longer jealous of your tickets to Game 1. As much as I love baseball and as much as I love it, I feel like that would be a disappointing series. Braves, if that's what happens, man, I am all in. I will be watching every pitch of every game. Dodgers, Astros, look, I'll tune in and I'll check it out from time to time, but I'm not going to be as excited or in tune with it as I would be if it was Rays and Braves. All right, so let's get to some NBA talk. Some talk that you guys love to do, especially Jay. He always asks, where's the NBA talk? Where's the NBA talk? Here it is, Jay. Here's your time to shine. You're my boy, Blue.
Let's do this.
All right. So the Lakers win the title, and now we're into the offseason. They're talking about probably coming back mid January, late February, or early February, last that I heard. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but that's what I heard. But now it's time for free agency. It's time for people, to go wherever they're going to go. It's time for guys to make splashes. What are the Golden State Warriors going to do with their draft pick? Do they trade it? Do they keep it? So, Jay, what big names go where this year?
I think 2021 brings a lot of change. I think somehow, some way, Miami sneaks Giannis away from Milwaukee. Yeah, I really do think that. Somehow, some way, they get him.
I like that.
I think that Gordon Hayward ends up traded off the Celtics.
Wait, who gets Giannis?
Miami Heat.
Miami Heat. Ooh.
I like that move.
Ooh.
Yep. So I think that
Jimmy Buckets and Giannis.
Jimmy Buckets, Giannis, and then they have that supporting cast. They have Adebayo, they got Hero, they got Duncan Robinson. Don't forget they still got Jay Crowder. You put Giannis on that team, and they're a contender for years to come.
I think that not only are they a contender, but I think that they're the favorite.
Yeah.
In the East, at least.
At least in the East.
And
at least in the East.
That's
him and LeBron can go,
one.
And then you got Antetokounmpo to go at Davis. So yeah, that's and then I take the rest of the Heat players over.
Yeah, I take the cast. I take the Heat's cast.
Well, the Heat are
over.
definitely deeper than LA, right?
And that's that's even with Rajon Rondo and Kuzma and the rest of the team they had this year coming back. This team first, same finals, and you add Antetokounmpo. Yeah, I think it might even be over in 5 or 6 the other way around.
Part-time nurse says he'd like to see the Astros Dodgers and watch some karma come back and Dodgers sweep them and beat their arse.
Not gonna happen though. Man. They're not gonna sweep them.
All right. So Giannis goes to the Heat. Where does AD go? You think he stays in LA?
Anthony Davis is opting out, but he's staying in LA. He's already made it clear that he's not.
I thought you were gonna say he's staying in LA and going to the Clippers.
Yeah. No. He's staying in LA, meaning he's staying with the Lakers.
Staying with Daddy.
He is opting.
I like to see this guy come back. I like to see him come back home.
Of course you would.
Man. Of course, but he's not.
What Bulls fan wouldn't?
What Bulls fan wouldn't want AD on their team? But
hey, buddy, you got a better chance of Michael Jordan walking through those doors than you do have Anthony Davis.
Facts.
Says the guy who decided to put on a Jordan jersey after debating that he wasn't the GOAT. Jag.
They're both the GOAT. It's a tie.
All right. So
tie goes to the bigger guy.
Let me ask you this. What team that missed the postseason this year is most likely to make it next year, other than the obvious answer, which is the Golden State Warriors, because the entire team was hurt?
The New Orleans Pelicans. I think they got a good young core. They got a good young core. Zion's going to get nothing but better, and they got Brandon Ingram down there, and he was this year's most improved player, and I think he builds off that, becomes an all-star. Like I said, obviously you got Zion down there, and he's going to get nothing but better. I think if you get some good guard play, and Lonzo Ball actually turns into the player that he was supposed to be, then I think that, the New Orleans Pelicans are going to get a nice little run there in the West, and possibly take like the six, 7 seed, something like that. I mean, you know how deep the West is. They got a bunch of teams out there, but I could definitely see the New Orleans Pelicans, grabbing that 6 or 7 seed.
Wow, Hoffy?
Yeah, I agree, and that's actually one of the teams that I had. And then I'm going to go with the Rookie of the Year, Morant, and the Grizzlies.
Yeah, the Grizzlies
think they just missed it this year. Like, I think they were the 9th seed, and they were in it to the very end. And then obviously we had the Warriors. I wouldn't doubt that the Pistons. I think the Pistons will make it out of the East this year as well.
Wow. Okay, the Pistons out of the. Now that's
not
not
winning the East, but they will make an 8-7 seed this year. I think Blake Griffin and I think they get some talent around him, and they at least get an 8 seed because the East isn't really that talented, as we all know. So yeah, I think they can make a run at it.
All right. So what team that made the playoffs is most likely to miss next year?
I think it's OKC. I think they they got rid of their coach. I think they go full rebuild. I think they capitalize on the value that Chris Paul built for himself on this past season. I think they trade him, and I think they get some young players. And I think they end up this being a rebuilding year for OKC.
Okay, Jay.
Yeah, that's a good one. Oklahoma City. I think they just squeaked in this year. Honestly, like Hoppy said, they're probably going straight to full rebuild mode. Going to probably get rid of Adams this year. So yeah, I think Oklahoma City is one of those teams that's going to be on the outside looking in, and I think they're going to actually drop down pretty far. Maybe 10, 11. Bottom of the barrel type stuff.
Yeah, they were the 5th seed this season. So yeah, I think they're the biggest fall of all the teams in the playoffs this year.
Right. So, what about the Utah Jazz? Are the Utah Jazz for real? The run that they made this year, are they really are they that good?
They have Donovan Mitchell and they have Gobert. As long as they stay COVID free and don't cough on each other. Yeah, I think the Utah Jazz are for real, but I still like Denver, and I think Denver is going to be a good team that makes a run at it. And if they can get a player or two, I mean, it's a small market, so it's going to be tough to get a Jimmy Butler kind of player. But if they could get somebody to help out that young team, I think they could be pretty good too. But yeah, I think both Utah and Denver are going to be 2 small market teams that are pretty good.
So you think
Jazz.
Both of those teams make the playoffs next year?
Yeah, they both do.
Yeah.
Okay.
They played each other in the first round. There was 3 versus 6 this season, but
and it was a hell of a series too. And Donovan
I think
Mitchell,
they were up 3-1 or something on them, and then they
came back. Yeah, but
Utah was down 3-1 in both of their series, weren't they? And they came back to win, right?
Yeah, they came back and won both.
Yeah.
But Donovan Mitchell's a hell of a player. They got Gobert. It's the white dude they got over there, good shooter. Joe Ingles. They got Joe Ingles. So I mean, they got some players that are for real. I don't know what. I think Gobert is a free agent this year. Don't quote me on it, but I think he might be. But I think he stays because, I mean, I don't really see him going anywhere else. Possibility, maybe, like a Celtics trade or, something to that effect because, I mean, what are the Celtics going to honestly do? They got 3 first-round draft picks and all those players on their team already. I mean, they already have people that they had to, draft and stash overseas already, so it's just, I don't know what the Celtics are going to end up doing. They probably have to end up packaging their 3 picks into one and try to, move down to inside the top 10 if they can, But, I mean, I like to see the Celtics actually go and do something big, maybe a trade with the Indiana Pacers for Oladipo and Miles Turner or Sabonis for, Gordon Hayward, Marcus Smart, Robert Williams, and maybe some of those draft picks, because Indiana, they're pretty much at
That'd
the
be a
stage
huge trade.
right. But
That'd be a
Indiana
huge
at that point would be at a stage where, they would need those picks because, I mean, if you get rid of Oladipo and Turner or Sabonis, I mean, you're going to need those picks to replenish and restock your team. But you have Gordon Hayward go over. I mean, he is from Indiana, so I'm sure he wouldn't mind that trade if it happened, And I hate to lose Marcus Smart, but if I'm going to gain a big man in Miles Turner and also Oladipo, and then you have Oladipo, Miles Turner, Jaylen Brown,
Tatum, Walker.
And Walker.
Is that a legit trade consideration, though? Like, do you think that is a legit trade consideration, or are you just playing NBA 2K live here?
No. That'd be a legitimate trade consideration.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Gordon Hayward. Because at that point you got to make the money match, Yeah. So Oladipo, I think they gave him a max deal, maybe.
Yeah.
So then you would have Oladipo and Hayward on the maxes, and then you would just have to make the money match between Turner, and that's why I think you would have to give up Marcus Smart and then the draft picks. The 14,
they might
20.
even ask for like Baines or someone like that, but I'd be for it. I'd even include one of our big guys now, Tice or whatever, the big guy. I think Baines is long, but he's in San Antonio now. But Tice or, I think we'd have to give up the two, first rounds as well. As long as you're getting Miles Turner and Oladipo, I mean, you lose Smart's, defense, but you pick up Oladipo's offense. And then we haven't had a big guy in a while. And I think that's really all the, the Celtics have been missing these past couple of years. And I think Turner would greatly help them. There's not many big guys in the East. So, I mean, doesn't mean they're getting a title, but, not a whole lot of competition in the East besides them and the Heat. And obviously the Nets are going to be pretty good this year, but the East, right, I think, is pretty much wide open.
Yeah. Huh. All right. I mean, it's all pretty interesting. I'm excited. I always get excited for off seasons in all sports. I like to see where guys go, what's going to happen. I love trade discussions. I love the whole who's going where, who's the big move, and who becomes the new favorite. So I would love to see Anthony Davis leave the Lakers and see what happens there. Because, again, I'm a big fan of chaos. I would just like to see it. I'm not sure it's going to happen. I don't think it will happen. I think Anthony Davis stays put. It makes the most sense for him to stay put, keep playing with LeBron, and keep winning championships. But they're going to need Anthony Davis if they're going to try to compete with Golden State for sure. Otherwise, Golden State just becomes the West favorite again every year.
I mean, at this point, Golden State's still in a really good position. And they have the number 2 pick. So, they don't try to go after, Giannis or something.
Do they trade that pick or do they keep it?
I personally would trade it if I was them.
You get a haul back for that pick.
Oh yeah, you're getting a haul back for that.
You're probably getting LeVar, the Ball brother for that pick.
Oh yeah, you're getting an all-star for sure if you give up that pick, and you're like Hoffy just said, you're probably getting LaMelo or whatever at number 2.
Can you imagine a LaMelo Ball on Golden State with that team that they already got?
Where would he go though? You got Curry as the ball handler.
He's coming off the bench for sure. He's coming off the bench.
Yeah, if you could get him and bring him off the bench, but in a year or two, you're going to have to either get rid of Curry or you're going to have to get rid of Ball or something. I don't think you could keep those guys together.
They're not getting rid of Curry because they got him on a supermax right now.
Yeah.
So that ain't happening.
I think they would trade it. Find a way to get a big time player. An Antetokounmpo. Maybe they find a way to work a sign and trade with the Bucks or something like that.
I mean,
I don't
all
want
it
to see
really,
that though.
all it really takes is for Giannis to be like, I don't want to be here anymore, and there's not much the Bucks can do. They're going to have to, trade him or, have him play out the year, and then they get nothing for him. So
Right.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
either,
Giannis, I think, is definitely getting moved. He's the biggest piece getting moved this offseason for sure.
On that note, game on. Game on. You feel it. Well, Bishop, they score!
Everybody knows what sound that is. That means it is time to play our favorite game. Our favorite game is Way or No Way.
No way. Yes way.
Little delay there, but all right. We'll get that eventually. All right, so Way or No Way, you guys know how it goes by now. Everybody who's watching, you guys know how this plays. I bring up a statement. We give our answer Way or No Way and the reason why. Part-time Nerd says he is Team Chaos. I am Team Chaos when it comes to sport as well. I love chaos in sports. Absolutely love it. The only chaos I don't want to see happen is the Houston Astros in the World Series. All right, so Way or No Way, we're going to get to it. We got some football stuff going on for you guys. My first one I was thinking about, and I was thinking about this last night, because we got into it on the show on After Dark. We were talking about Joe Burrows and Justin Herbert, and Buck had brought up, is this the best, going to be the best rookie duo ever? So I'm going to ask you guys. Joe Burrows and Justin Herbert are going to go down as the best rookie combo from a previous year's draft all time. Way or no way?
Shit, no fucking way. No fucking way. You have Theismann and Manning in 71, Montana and Sims in 83, Elway and Kelly and Marino in 01. So take your two out of those three. You got Vic and Breeze in 04. You got Big Ben, Eli or Rivers in 5. You got Aaron Rodgers and Alex Smith in 2005, excuse me. And then 2017, how about Watson and Mahomes? I'm taking those two all day over those other two.
Man.
So, yeah, I don't even have them in my top 5. And
Well, I think he was talking about their performances in their rookie year.
in the rookie season? Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Because I think that slims it down a little bit because a lot of those guys didn't play their rookie years. Mahomes did not play his rookie year. He didn't even see the field.
Well, then I think I would go probably 04. Did Rivers and Eli go?
Yeah, I think they did.
I think I'd probably
Rivers
pick.
played in.
Didn't they just
Rivers
flip flop?
Rivers sat because Breeze was still there.
Oh,
in
that's
San
right.
Diego,
Okay.
And then they traded Breeze the next year.
Yeah. So I mean, I'd have to do some research and see, but I don't think so. I think I'm not, like I said, I'm not sold on Burrows yet. He hasn't played top D yet. So, and we're only 5 games into the season. How can we say that?
I mean, from a numbers standpoint, they're trending that way. So I understood the question. I don't think I'm with you, Hoffy. I don't think that this is going to end up being that. I think if we actually went out there and did the research and look at the notes, I think you're going to find 2 quarterbacks that had similar numbers and better names. So, Jay?
Nah, I'm going to go no way too. I mean, at this point, I mean, the body of work's pretty slim, I mean, 5 games into the season. I mean, don't get me wrong. Those 2 guys have been playing pretty stellar, especially Herbert. I mean, he looks like he's going to be the real deal. If you put a line around him and give him a couple weapons, in which, I mean, San Diego already does have a few weapons over there. But, I mean, if you give him a line and, then you'll probably get way more out of him, obviously. But, I mean, at the same time, over in Cincinnati, Burrow doesn't really have too much around him, but every week he's coming out and he's throwing 300 yards. So, I mean.
Part-time Nerd says Marino
See,
went to
there
the
we
Super
go.
Bowl his rookie year. Did he really?
All we
I
need
didn't
is
know
Kelly or Elway to start, and we're good.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
How about Vic? I'm pretty sure Vic and did Breeze start their first year?
I know
see those
Vic,
two both.
I know
Vic
Vic did.
Vic did not.
but
No,
No?
Vic did not. Vic did not start his rookie year.
Or didn't Breeze start for the Chargers or no?
Breeze might have, but Vic did not. I know Vic did not start for the Falcons his rookie year.
Okay.
I'm gonna do research tomorrow.
I think Breeze did though.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. Part-time nerd says Marino went to the Super Bowl his rookie year. It was all downhill from there. That guy. But see, the thing. So the rumor about Marino was that you know how you get a guy like Tom Brady and he keeps restructuring the deal and keeps restructuring the deal to get more weapons in there. Marino was not that guy. Marino wanted to be the highest paid player on that team, and he wasn't willing to give anybody any money. To
even
get
at like 40 years old, he was at the end of his career. He was still that same way, thinking he was top dollar.
Yeah, so that part's on Marino. All right, so sticking with Herbert and Burrows, this is the one that I brought up, and I feel a certain way about this one. So I'm gonna ask you guys first, and then I'll give you guys my opinion. Justin Herbert will have a better career than Joe Burrows.
Yes. For all the reasons,
yes?
all the reasons I said earlier. I mean, Burrows last year had 14 players drafted off his team, and he's in LSU. When have we ever seen an LSU quarterback have a successful career? What was it, Jamarcus Russell?
Yeah.
Low blow. Sorry, but no, I think Herbert. I mean, Joe Burrows sat on the bench at Ohio State behind three guys that aren't even starting quarterbacks in the NFL. I mean, maybe you can call Dwayne Haskins, but he's now a bench warmer. So, yeah, I mean, if he was all that in a bag of chips, he would have played at Ohio State or whatnot. But yeah, no, I think Herbert is shown to us that 4 years at Oregon and then this year thus far, and he's gone against better talent in the NFL. He's gone against that Bucs defense. He's gone against the Super Bowl Chiefs. So yeah, I think he has a better career, and Burrows is also in Cincinnati. So right. that's probably the deciding factor. Is just the fact that he's in Cincinnati.
Jay?
I mean, I think Herbert definitely has a better career. I mean, not for naught. I mean, he looks better than him now. I mean, that doesn't really mean anything at this point. But I mean, the whole Cincinnati thing is just not good for Burrows. I mean, they just year after year after year roll out trash, and even when they had good teams and good weapons and they had everything going for them, they had horrible coaching, and they just kept Marvin Lewis there 12 years too long. They just that organization just doesn't know where it's going. So I mean, Burrows might have a decent career, but I think Herbert definitely has a better one, and especially if Burrows ends up staying in Cincinnati for a good part of his career. He just doesn't leave after, the first contract or whatnot.
After his rookie deal, yeah.
Right.
So here's what I said last night. I said that they both look really good. They both look like they are going to have very good careers. This could be your next Brady versus Manning, every year you want to see these two go at it, and it would be fun to watch every year. But I've watched Burrows, and unless they build a line in front of him, he's not going to stay in Cincinnati if they don't do that. 2, he's going to die. So that's I've seen Burrows take some sacks, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, he looks like a crash test dummy. He has gotten hit very, very hard in Cincinnati and very, very often in Cincinnati.
He's got to look like that guy from Home Alone.
The reason why I am more for thinking that I really think that Herbert has the bigger upside here is because even though he is 0-4 so far in his young career, he played right with Patrick Mahomes. They ended up losing that game 23-20. Then they lost to the Panthers, and he was right in that game. Lost a shootout with, or not a shootout, but he lost a close game with the Carolina Panthers. And then they went to Tampa Bay, and he lost a shootout with Tom Brady, 38-31. And I mean, he has, and then he goes to the Saints, and he loses because his kicker can't freaking kick a field goal at the end of regulation after he leads a beautiful, beautiful drive. I mean, that ball that he put to put them in field goal range at the end of that game, that pass was perfection. Somebody said he just threw it up there. I disagree. I think he put it up in a spot where his guy was double covered, and he put it in a spot where only his receiver could go and get it. Yes, his receiver had to go and get it, and he had to make a play on it.
Your job.
But that's what you want your quarterback to do. Give it up to your playmaker. And that's what he did, and his playmaker made a play, and it was beautiful execution. That entire drive was absolutely gorgeous. So he's done it so far against Mahomes, Brady, and Breeze. I mean, look, if you're not a believer in this kid and what he's doing over there in Los Angeles, then I don't know what you're watching. I don't understand how you can have that opinion after seeing his first 4 weeks. So I absolutely think that Herbert's going to have a better career than Burrows, mostly because I think Herbert right now has a better chance to succeed with the Chargers than Burrows does with the Bengals. So yeah. I'm going to go with Burrows on this one. That one's definitely a way for me. All right, so keeping into what we were talking about last night as well, I had said something, and a lot of people said, whoa. And Buckheister actually agreed with me, which made me go, whoa. But Buckheister, I believe that Trevor Lawrence is going to be a bust in the NFL. So that's our next one. Way or no way, Trevor Lawrence is a bust in the NFL. Hoffy?
I mean, what are we going to classify as a bust? Peyton Manning? I mean, I think
Ryan Leaf.
I think he's going to be like a glorified Peyton Manning. I think he's going to put up numbers. I don't think he's going to get it done in crunch time though. When it comes to the big dance, when he goes against Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, I don't think he's going to get it done. So I'm gonna go with he's going to have a good career, but it's not going to be what you want out of a number 1 overall draft pick.
Jay?
Yeah, same. I just don't think. I mean, he doesn't seem like the type of kid that has, and I could be wrong here, that has, the drive and the compassion and, all the, the skill set you need outside of just playing the game of football and, all that. I mean, I could be wrong, but it just doesn't seem like that for me. And I just think like Hoffy said, he might be a Peyton Manning where he puts up a bunch of numbers. Maybe he gets a Super Bowl, but, later on in his career or whatnot. But I don't think that he's going to come into the league and just tear it apart like he's doing down in Clemson right now, So, I mean, I think he has a decent career. He puts up numbers, maybe gets a Super Bowl, but not from what you want to see from that bona fide first round pick, So,
yeah.
Yeah. I don't see the Mamba mentality, or the one thing that, people can argue that makes Jordan the GOAT, and that's the fact that he was just a killer. And this kid just looks like he's out there having fun, just playing backyard football, just throwing it with his friends.
See, look, here's what I get out of Trevor Lawrence, and that's why I brought up the name earlier when you said Peyton Manning. I say Ryan Leaf. I see a lot of Ryan Leaf and Trevor Lawrence. I see a kid who can really succeed in college and be very good in college, but the game that he has is not going to translate in the NFL. It's just not. The Trevor Lawrence is not going to have a good career in the NFL. I think he'll absolutely be a bust. I see a ton of Ryan Leaf's game in him, and so I just don't know. I don't know where people are saying this guy is the next coming of Brady. This guy is going to be a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback every single year in and year out, because I mean, I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see it at all. I'm calling it right now. There are 4 other quarterbacks in this draft that I would take before I took a chance on Trevor Lawrence.
Who are those 4?
Yeah, who are those 4?
So I like Kellen Mond. Who's the second best? Who's rated the second best quarterback? God, I can't think of his name right now. I really
from Oklahoma's not coming out after this year, right? What's he got? 2-3 years left? 2 years,
right? Yeah, I like Kyle Trask out of Florida. I love Kellen Mond. I love God, it's gonna bug me now that I can't think of this
Ohio
guy's
State.
Name. Hold on, I'm pulling it up right now so I can think of all these names. Justin Fields, there you go.
Yeah,
so Justin Fields.
Yep.
Justin Fields, I really like. I like Kellen Mond. I like Kyle Trask. Brock Purdy out of Iowa State, man. I really like Brock Purdy too. I'm not sure I would take him over Trevor Lawrence, but I do like these guys. Trevor Lawrence is not. I don't know. I'm just not a big thing. Trey Lance is I think I really like Trey Lance's game. A lot of people don't know him. He's out of North Dakota State. You haven't watched the guy. You should watch the guy because he is he's going to sneak up in this draft and he's going to have a better career than Trevor Lawrence. So just mark my words. I mean, I know it's a hot take right now. Everybody is in love with Trevor Lawrence, but I don't think his game translates into the NFL. I just don't. All right, moving on. The Patriots should have taken a flyer now that we know that they didn't take a flyer. The Patriots should have taken a flyer on Le'Veon Bell. Jay?
I mean, it wouldn't have hurt in any by any means. You know, they should have tried to make their team better. I mean, Le'Veon Bell. I mean, even though the past couple of years he hasn't been all that great, but you got to think he was just on the Jets. I mean, no player goes to the Jets and does anything great. So I mean, Le'Veon Bell makes your team better. You know, whether he's catching balls out of the backfield or you give him a line. Because if you do remember, when Le'Veon Bell did have a line in Pittsburgh, 100-yard game after 100-yard game, you know, catching touchdowns, running for touchdowns, you know, big games catching out of the backfield. And, you know, I think if you give them that type of, you know, atmosphere and you give them that type of, those type of players around him, which he has a line, he has an offense, you know, it's not just him and he's carrying the whole load, then I think he is, you know, something or an upgrade on your team. But if he has to do everything like he was doing on the Jets, then no, you know.
Yeah.
So, but I think I would take a flyer on him.
Yeah, I mean, everything tells me no because, you know, just like Jay said, he didn't do much for the Jets, but at the same time, it's the Jets. I mean, I think his first name is Robbie Anderson, the wide receiver over in Carolina, putting up huge numbers this year. You know, and he was decent for the Jets, but not the numbers he's putting up with Carolina. You know, they don't utilize the skill sets the way they should.
Still the Jets, though. I mean,
exactly.
the Jets are the Jets, so.
So yeah, I mean, you know, everybody said Corey Dillon was a bad decision, and look what we got out of that. So, you know, Belichick has proven that he can get the best out of you know, Randy Moss. But, you know, and I know a lot of New England fans aren't sold on Sony Michel, and the guy's constantly injured. But, you know, I don't know that.
You guys got a couple of good running backs.
Yeah, we got White, we got Burkhead. Yeah, I don't think there's any room for him in that room because if so, I think he would have been there. I do think that.
Look, I think this guy's a headache in the locker room. I think he brings down your locker room. He's not a locker room guy, so New England wasn't going to bring him in. I am actually completely shocked that the Kansas City Chiefs went to go get this guy. I don't want this guy anywhere near Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I don't want him in there doing the things that he's supposed to do and having to deal with Le'Veon Bell or even possibly share carries with Le'Veon Bell. It was a bad decision by Kansas City to go out and get him. I would have seen him better off the team would have been, but he's better off in Kansas City because he might win a Super Bowl out of it. But the team is not better off. The teams that would have been better off with him would have been a team like Miami who had nothing to lose to try to make a run. You know, a team like that would have been better off without him. I heard rumors of the Bills. I wouldn't have liked for the Bills to go out and get him either. But like a team like Miami or a team like like even Washington to try to make a run at this NFC East that's still wide open. I would have, that would have been a better fit for a team. Obviously for him, the better fit is to go where the best talent is at, where you have a chance to win. So he has nothing to lose, and he's still an ass clown in the locker room. So, I don't know. I don't know what Kansas
win a Super Bowl with doing the least amount of work possible.
Yeah. I don't like it. Part-time nurse says he's a troublemaker. He's done. Jordan Love will be the best out of this draft class.
Incorrect. I like it.
Incorrect.
I don't know that he's going to be the best, but I do like him.
No.
I
And
wouldn't mind.
unless they part ways with Aaron Rodgers, he's not even going to play for another 2 or 3 years.
He might not even see the field for the Packers ever.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
I don't know why they
depends on-
spent a first-round pick on him. I could see the Patriots of doing it, but
I don't know why
I don't
they
understand
spent a
it.
first round pick on his ass either. I was completely shocked that they didn't go get him a running back, or go get Aaron Rodgers another wide receiver. They needed so
He doesn't need a
much
running back. He
offensive
needs a
help.
tight end or a wide receiver.
I'm not sold on their running backs. Are you? You're good with their running backs?
Yeah, they're
They've still got Valdez Scantling, and they've still got Devontae Adams. They've got a decent 1-2 punch at wide receiver. Either or, though. Whether it's a running back or a wide receiver, I would take either or. But to go and draft a quarterback with your number 1 pick, I didn't understand it at all. I really didn't. Part-time Nerd says should have taken a wide receiver. Yeah, I would have been fine with them running back or wide receiver. Quarterback made no damn sense to me. All you were going to do was piss off your whiny-ass quarterback anyway, so why go and do that? Unless you're planning on moving on from him. Maybe he's done. Maybe this is his last year in Green Bay, and maybe he comes to the
Do you think
Bears
they've had
next
enough
year.
of his bullshit?
I don't.
Nobody likes him. His own family doesn't like him. He
I
doesn't
don't
get
even
invited
know.
to any family events.
Yeah, his
I
brother.
don't know how you go away from him though. When he puts up the numbers that he's putting up this year, I mean, even
I
if,
agree.
You know,
The
if
guy's
you have
good.
a type of gripe with him, or you
Where are the rings?
The guy's good, but he's an asshole.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
the other
he's-
thing too. You could say where are the rings, but I blame that more on Mike McCarthy and the,
Oh, I mean,
and the
yeah,
front
but
office
at
than
the
I do on
same
Aaron
time-
Rodgers. They didn't build around him, and Mike McCarthy is an awful coach, and he's proven that again in Dallas.
Indianapolis didn't build a defense for Peyton. He still got him there.
one.
Peyton Manning
one,
had
just
Reggie.
like
Peyton
just
Manning
like,
had Reggie Wayne. Peyton Manning had weapons.
I'm talking
Peyton
a
Manning
defense,
had,
though. Yeah.
They
Green
had
Bay
an
had
alright
an
defense.
offense.
They had an alright defense.
So doesn't Green Bay.
Green Bay's got a great defense. They've got no
Right.
offense. But he's still putting up numbers with a porous offense, and the fact that you didn't build around it, like they could be they could have been what the Patriots were, and they could have been battling with the Patriots every damn year for a Super Bowl if they would have built around him. They didn't. They had a horrible head coach, and their front office just made horrible draft decisions, horrible moves in the offseason, horrible trades. They did not build around Aaron Rodgers like they should have. They wasted Aaron Rodgers' career. Absolutely, 110% they wasted Aaron Rodgers. But I'm okay with it because it's Green Bay, and fuck the Packers. So, all right, guys, that's all the time we have for now. Thank you guys for joining us. As always, you can find us on the Triple Shot Sports Facebook page. You can find us on the All Access Facebook page. You can find us on allaccesssportsnetwork.com. And as always, if you miss any part of the show, find us on the Triple Shot Sports podcast page on YouTube. And if you want to yell at us, it's at 3 Shot Sports on Twitter or at 3 Shot Sports on Instagram. Guys, have a great night. We will see you guys on Sunday. Enjoy football. Have a good week, guys.